Well, I'll give you the right picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to treat me as a pupil at the partly trained stage.
Okay.
I have had some lessons with our instructor Fred, who couldn't make it today. But he has got the same car as you, so I am familiar with the controls of the Golf. He said today we were going to look at Crossroads, all aspects of it. Going straight ahead.
Yes.
Turning left, turning right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So, any questions on that?
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So, I'll leave you to meet and greet them.
Okay. Well, I'm Simon.
I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at Crossroads. I spoke to Fred last night just to see what we're going to do today. And he said last week you did emerging from junctions, like T-junctions. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we done a bit of emerging, yeah.
Yeah, and also turning left and right.
Yeah, we've done some of that as well, yeah.
Okay, so Crossroads effectively is like emerging, because if you imagine there's a T-junction there, but you've got an extra road involved as well. Right. So same principles involved, but let me have a little look through, a little talk through here for you. Okay, so do you remember the routine you were using on your way up to emerging?
I was using this MSPSL routine.
That's it, perfect. And do you remember what they all stand for?
Yeah, mirror, signal, position, speed and look.
Fantastic, there we go. So we're going to be using exactly that same thing. So if you see here in this diagram here, we've got a junction. Without that, that would be an emerge, as you were doing last week. Yeah, so we're doing the same sort of thing as that, but we've got this extra road involved here. So here, as you can see, we've got MSPSL. Yeah. So as you've rightly identified, mirror speed, position, mirror signal, position, speed and look. Okay, so in this instance here, we've got to first of all know how to identify them. So how do you think that you would identify them as you come up to them?
Might I see a great big sign like that?
You might see a sign, a road sign. Yeah. You've also got, if you remember back to how you were identifying the T-junctions for your emerges, you'd see a block ahead of you. Well, it'll look like that, but with a gap there. That's a very bad example to use. Forget that. I'm going to backpedal from that. I'm sorry. That was a bad example to use. So we're going to have 4 roads to look at. Yeah. We're going to be the one we're in. So as we come up to it, if we're turning left, as in this instance here, we're going to use mirror first and then signal to the left in exactly the same way as you've done for an emerge. Look for those same reference points. Did you talk about reference points with Fred for turning left? Yeah. All the same on that for your positioning. And then once you're here at the junction, you can look right and left if you're we're turning left, remember, so for your emerge. So do you remember how you judge whether or not it's safe to pull out in front of these vehicles?
Oh yeah, I had to walk across and walk back again.
Okay, good, and we'll do that once we're out there. So if you're pulling into the path of these vehicles that were coming along here, would you have to walk across and back or just across?
Across and back. Yeah,
good, because we're going into that. Gives them, what does that give the extra time for by coming back again? Do you remember?
For me to get down the road.
Yeah, good. So we'll do that. Now, whereas before with the emerge you would have just looked right and left, we also have to look over here at this other junction. So I'll be pointing those out when we're on the move as well. But it's very important because this car, if they're turning right, are also something you need to take into account, because these cars may be coming along here and this car may be coming round. And do you know whose priority it would be here? If you're both sitting at this junction here, who do you think would have priority?
It'd be me, wouldn't it?
Why would it be you?
Well, because he's got to come across here to get there, isn't he?
And is there any point at which that priority may change?
Well, you could force it. Fred always says I can give priority, but I can never take it.
Yeah, yes, but if he's already started moving, would you give away? Would he have priority then in that junction?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hit him, would I?
No. Good. Okay, so that's that for turning left. That's how we're going to do that. Yeah. For turning right, again, treat it the same as a right-hand emerge. Yeah. And as we come up to it, we're just going to be considering this extra junction here, okay? But still with that same MSPSL routine. Now, when we're turning major to major, this here we're looking at, here's the major road, these are minor roads. If we're major to major, you may have to make a decision here about whether you turn passenger side to passenger side or driver side to driver side. And again, we'll point them out as we go. Really, if there's somebody else already in the junction, you do the same way as they've done. So if this guy's already started turning here, you would be passenger door to passenger door. unless there's markings on the road that show us differently.
Oh, right.
Okay?
Why has it got a question mark?
Sorry?
Why has it got question marks?
Because that decision has to be made on the approach to it. So as you come up here, you need to decide, is there any markings that show you anything? If not, which side are you going to go? Are you going to go passenger side to passenger side or driver side? If you're passenger side to passenger side, which is the easiest because your route can carry on then, but if there's other vehicles coming down here, your view is restricted.
Oh, right.
So you have to be very, very careful of that and just almost use a peep and creep. Did you use peep and creeping with Fred when you were doing your emerging?
I did, yeah.
To see around things. It's the same as that there. Be very careful. You can look through the car, but make sure that it's clear. And again, hopefully we'll encounter some of that while we're out and about, that we can see. This is a safer way to do it. When it's driver side to driver side, this is our car here going this way, because you can now see up the road. But it can be a problem if there's a number of cars on each side, you can block each other.
Oh, right.
Okay? Box junctions. Do you understand how box junction works?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've studied for my theory. I actually read that last night.
Okay, and so...
Yeah, my wife explained a really good way to understand this.
How's that?
Don't go into the box unless your exit's clear.
That's it. That's a perfect way. Your wife's a clever lady. So that's exactly it. Yeah. We'll leave box junctions there for now. Okay, so I just want to go through these quite briefly. Staggered crossroads. When they're just fairly close together like this, you would still treat that as a normal crossroads. Yeah. Okay, so just be aware that with the staggering, you have to look still into this junction over here, but because he's over there, it will still affect you in the same way as the other one will there. Okay, and this is a sort of road sign. All right, and that's it. No, there is one there, I beg your pardon. And this is staggered to the other way.
All right.
Okay, so again, you'd still be looking for, in this instance, the main road here. So still be using your walk across, drive across, MSPSL on the way up to it, but considering that junction.
So if I'm going from here,
yes,
across to the other side of the road,
yes,
do I need to be able to walk across and walk back again?
If you're going from here to the other side of the road, yes, you would. No, you wouldn't. I'm sorry, because you're crossing the path of both vehicles. You're not going into their path, which is when you need walk across and back again. Yeah. So no, you're crossing both of them.
Right.
Okay, but in this instance, even though they're slightly staggered like that, you wouldn't indicate if you're going straight over, because your path is straight across.
His position there, look.
His position is over to the right, because he's coming to the right rather than the left. But you no need to indicate right, which would take you up this way.
Okay, then.
All right?
Can I just have a...
Yes, please do.
There's something I didn't understand there. I'm not sure. Yeah, so you said that I could be on the major road.
Yeah, if you're on the major road coming down here, so like that.
You turn it the other way around.
Sorry?
You turn the book around.
Oh, like that.
No, right around. Yeah. No,
keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I'm on the major road.
You're on the major road coming through here. So if you're doing a left here, then you would treat this as a turning left and right, which you did with Fred last week.
Yeah.
But you have to consider this extra road again, because that will still play a part in what you do.
Yeah.
Okay? So as you come up to it, the first thing to do, you still use your MSPSL routine.
Yeah.
So you use your mirrors.
Yeah.
And then when you do your looking, you're scanning both sides. If you're turning left, you'd be watching this guy here as well to make sure he's not going to come straight across and cause you a problem. Okay? And then you could go round here. If you were going straight on through here, on the way up to it, you still use mirrors and then scan the junction to see if there's anyone that's likely to come out. And when you scan the junction, you scan it through the front window, not through the side windows. Okay?
Okay.
Does that clarify that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Right. Should we go and have a go then?
I'm really nervous now.
There's nothing to be nervous about. We'll be absolutely fine. It's busy sometimes, but you'll be absolutely fine. What we want to try and do today in this lesson is to get to the point that we can do the crossroads without too much prompting from me by the end of the lesson.
Oh, right.
All right? And we'll see. We'll review that at the end and see if we can get to
That's
that.
my aim today, is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to make yourself comfortable.
Oh, right, yeah.
And just tell me what you can see in the rear view mirror there, Tony.
I can see the top and bottom of the back window. I can see both sides of the back window.
Yep.
I actually see a bit of my head restraint and a bit of yours as well.
Good. Perfect. And in your door mirrors?
I can see the door handles.
Yep.
I see the sky at the top and the horizon in the middle.
And this
and
one?
same that one.
Fantastic. Right. So if you'd like to start the car up, and then we can move off when you're ready. So what do you think, what sort of signs will we be looking out for to identify Crossroads?
Crossroads, huh?
Okay, so we've missed one there.
Oh, right.
So there would be a Crossroads. That's my fault, sorry, we were very close to that as we started off.
And turning left.
And turning left, please. So there won't always be a sign, as in that case I don't think there was a sign there, but a good way to spot it is the openings on either side. So when you see a road on the left or right, have a look on the other side to see if you can see it.
Right, just give me a stop on the left.
Just
here.
stop on the left up here for me, please, Tony, where it's safe and convenient to do so.
Right, just let it roll. Just give you a bit of help.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a problem that always comes up at Crossroads with nearly every PDI. It is identification. Yeah.
Right.
The best way of getting your brain in gear is talk out loud and say, "There's a road on the right.
Yeah.
Is there a road on the left?" No, there's not. It's not a Crossroads.
Okay.
There's a road on the left. Is there a road on the right? Oh yes, there is. That's a Crossroads.
Right.
That gets you thinking, doesn't it?
For me to be doing that, you mean?
Do it out loud.
Yeah. Okay.
It's also educating your pupils, well, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you missed the whole Crossroads.
Yeah,
back
I
then,
know.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I noticed last week when we were doing the emerging. I know you had a bad time last week. Anything in your mind, yeah. But I noticed as we were about a couple of 100 yards from the emerge,
Yeah.
there was a pedestrian crossing the road, which I would have dealt with
Yeah.
in roll. And you started talking about that pedestrian,
Yeah.
which really had nothing to do with the subject because
Right.
it was a couple of 100 yards from the emerge.
Yes.
And then by the time you finished talking about the pedestrian, we were right on top
Right
of the
on
emerge.
top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was probably similar when you moved off there. You were talking about road signs.
Road signs, and then we've gone past one.
Yeah. So look for the roads, look for the gaps in the buildings on either side of the road,
Yeah.
and then you're looking for a gap on the other side of the road.
other
Yeah?
side, yeah.
And don't forget maybe staggered as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So back in roll.
Okay. So if you move off when you're ready, please, Tony.
End left.
And at the end of the road, we're going to go left, please.
And next left.
And next left. So where you see a road on the left here, is there a road opposite?
No.
No. So this isn't a crossroads, but there may well have been. And so the way you deal with this as a left-hand turn, we will deal with the same. So all your reference points will be the same on the crossroads. But when we get a crossroads, we'll look at those. So keep looking ahead as to where you can see vehicles going. So ahead, you can see now we've got a giveaway junction, a giveaway sign. So when you straight ahead, please. So MSPSL mirror,
Oh, there is.
and get your speed down to 10 miles an hour now. That's lovely. And we're going to stop nice and central in this. That's it, and then stop. So no one behind us at the moment. How do you know to stop here, Tony? Or the position?
I've used my
where to
reference
stop.
point from last week.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's exactly the same. Crossroads
yeah.
here now.
Yeah,
And why is that important?
Because I mustn't encroach over the white line.
Okay, what would happen if you did encroach over the white
I
line?
could force a car to slow stop us for
Okay, and if you stopped short of that white line,
I wouldn't be able to see, would I?
you wouldn't. And what may it do to people behind us?
Confuse them.
Yeah, good. And if they're confused, what may happen?
And they may try and overtake me.
In a dangerous manner. Very good.
So I'm in the right position here, am I?
Good. You came over to the left a little bit on the way up to it, the positioning.
Oh, that's the way I was doing it last week.
So last week you would have been going left or right. So now we're going straight over. You didn't need to come right over to the left like that because it's a crossroads rather than a left emerge. Okay, we're going over there.
I don't understand.
So I'll show you on the next one of where.
No, I don't understand why
Oh.
I should be out there to go straight across there.
you don't need to be in your right turning position, but you don't need to be right over to the left-hand side as if you're turning left either. So you'd be somewhere between the two.
Look ahead, what do you see?
If you look ahead, what do you see? There's a car behind us now. I don't understand that, I'm sorry.
You see two parked cars, yeah?
Okay.
So it would have been better for me to keep a position nearer to left of centre there, wouldn't it?
Right, because of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, I've done the looking there on my own, but you should have come in and helped me on that,
yeah, I know. I'm sorry, that was me doing the looking as well. Right, stop it. Okay.
And left.
And at the end of the road, we're going left. So do you see a road straight ahead of you at the end?
No, I see a big house.
Okay. So not a crossroads, just an emerge.
Yeah, unless it's a very wide front door there.
Good. So here, road on the right. Was there anything opposite? No. Just up ahead now, road on the right. Can you see anything on the other side of it?
I see an entrance there.
Okay, so that's like a crossroads. So ease off, mirror first, ease off and scan it. So you needed to scan ahead. So we need to just get on that a little bit faster. Same as you got here. Road on the right. Is there anything else opposite?
No.
Road on the left. How about that one now, apart from the car?
I'm going to turn left.
I'm turning left here, please.
So why do I have to scan at these crossroads?
The reason you scan...
That's all right, I finished my question, yeah?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I've got priority.
You have got priority, but you're scanning for people that may be coming out there. They may not realise you've got priority, and you don't want to... you've got to be prepared for other people.
That would be their fault, wouldn't it?
It would be their fault, but you still don't want to get involved in that. So the best thing, as soon as you see it, mirror, and then just ease off the gas while you're scanning through the front window.
Oh, through the front window?
Yeah, because then you're looking ahead.
And we're going to turn left.
And turning left here, please.
What's the point of checking the mirror then?
And checking the mirror on the way up to it?
Yeah.
Because you want to see who's behind you. Because if you're going to slow down or you may have to stop, then you know how that's going to affect people around you. So, road on the right here. Is there anything opposite?
No.
No. So no crossroads here. What about just further up the road there?
I see a road on the left.
Okay. Do you see anything opposite at this time?
Yeah, there's a road on the right here.
Okay.
And
So
we're
what?
going to turn right.
And we're turning right here. So what are you going to do here?
Mirrors.
Okay. Go on then. Which mirrors are you going to use? Good. And signal?
Oh, yeah, signal.
Position now. Which road position should you be in for turning right?
Oh, yeah.
Just left of the centre line. That's lovely.
Oh,
And then look. No. Well, just look first.
Sorry?
Look, remember your MSPSL.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
Right down there.
You need to look on these two. So as you come up to it, scan them to see if there's any traffic coming up to it. And now treat this like a right-hand turn.
Yeah, I'm looking ahead. I'm looking in there.
Okay, so that's fine. What about this junction over here? Because we're at a
That's
crossroads.
nothing to do with me.
What if there was a car here that suddenly pulled across in front of you as you stopped here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to look in all of those junctions as you go, and then treat it as a right turn as you did last week. Okay. And how would you know if there was a car coming? How would you make that decision whether it's safe to go or not?
Well, if it's the same as the turning right, approaching junctions, turn right.
Yes,
I was using the walk across.
that's it.
If I could walk across, I could drive across.
Indeed. So when you're happy, there's a car there, they're going off down there. So we're going to look down there,
All right.
ahead to see if it's clear, and this way.
Yeah.
And then ahead again just to make sure, because that's the path we'll be crossing. And then if you're happy with that, we can go round to the right. Keep looking in the direction you're going.
All right.
Why is it important to look in the direction you're going?
Oh, there could be somebody crossing the road.
They could. And what would happen if they, if you hadn't seen them and you carried on looking in the other direction? Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And we're going to turn left.
And turning left at the end, please, Tony. Good road positioning there as you come round. So just remember that position and any reference points you use there for that left-hand emerge you're doing here, because we'll use that on the crossroads.
I'm trying to remember why I used that. Why I used that reference point now.
As to where the reference point is, did you say?
I'm trying to remember why I used it.
Do you remember?
Oh yeah, if I'm too close, so I hit the curb and mount the curb and maybe hit a pedestrian.
That's it. We don't want to do that. And if you're too far out from it,
I'd be too gone too wide out into the road, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And turning left.
And turning left again, please. So what can you see ahead now?
Oh, I see roads by side. Turning left.
Okay, so and we're turning left here, please, Tony. So the first thing you're going to do?
Oh, the mirrors. Isn't it?
Okay, and signal, very good.
Yeah.
And now looking into this road and this road and this road. We've got to use all three roads, and then round you go.
It's a lot of looking, isn't it?
There is a lot of looking, but we have to be sure that it's safe. A new road, new mirror.
New mirror.
That's it. Why are we doing that? New road, new mirror.
See what's following me and see what's overtaking.
Okay. And if someone was overtaking you, what would you do?
Fred said let him go.
Yeah.
And turning right.
And next right, please. And is this a crossroads?
Yeah.
It is. Okay. So where are we looking now?
Looking you.
Yeah. And ahead, obviously. And you're looking in here. Okay. Good. They're going to let you go. So just, yeah, they're going to. Okay. Good that you made eye contact then.
Yeah.
So, what I think that caused you to do is just turn a little bit early. We were just over the right-hand side a little bit there. What's the consequence of going over the other side of the road as you turn, cutting the corner like that?
Oh, on the when I was doing left and right hand turns, it's dangerous, isn't it?
Yes.
Get hit
So
by
it's,
a car coming down this road.
you could indeed, and it's the same as doing the left at the end, please. Doing a left or right turn, you have the same consequences that if you cut that corner, you could encroach on a vehicle coming in the other direction.
Was I not in the right position then?
No, for when you did the right-hand turn, no, you cut the corner as you went round because you stopped a little bit short. Okay? Did you talk, when you did it with Fred last week, did he use reference points? Just bear with me a second, just have a look ahead now. Can you see Crossroads?
Oh yeah.
Mirror?
Oh yeah.
And scan that, that's good. In through the front window like that. Once you know it's clear, you can carry on. So that's very good. And same again here. Opening on the right.
No opening on the left.
No, good.
And turning left.
And turning next left, please.
So I got that corner wrong, did I? I cut it, did I?
You cut across the corner, yeah, because your holding point was a little bit too short. And so a good way of doing that is picking a reference point of an extended centre line, which I'll show you.
Yeah, it seems I've slipped my mind on that one.
Yeah, I'll show you that when we come up to one in a second.
I've had a bad week, so.
Have you? I had one of those last week. And next left, please. So if you look ahead now, road on the right, is there anything opposite?
No, a lamppost.
Okay, good. So not a crossroads. And the next one up, there's a road on the left.